Hey guys, I wanted to bring in a testimonial and an experience that I had with my grandfather and how he introduced Neville Goddard's teachings to me. And I wanted to share that experience with you, okay? I was about 17 or 18 years old when this happened, okay? And my grandfather had flown in. Actually, no, he didn't fly in. I'm sorry. He only took trains. He never got on a plane. He was always taking a train. Anyways, he took a train to my mom's house. It was across country. He was in California. And he went to my mom's house. And I wasn't living with my mom, but I knew that he was coming, so I stopped over there to say hello to him, you know. And when I had stopped in, I was kind of sad and down because this girl that I thought that I loved had recently broke up with me. So he had noticed that I was kind of sad, you know. It was kind of I wasn't really in a good mood, you know. But I was happy to see him, of course. But he said, "What's the matter?" And I told him what was the matter. I told him that a girl that I really cared about had broken up with me. And he said, all right, I'll tell you what, go ahead and have a seat. And so he walked me over to the couch and we both sat down, and he was looking at me intensely. And I was just like, whoa, okay. You know, what's up, Grandpa? You know, and he said, okay, so you want the girl back? And I was like, well, yeah, of course I do. I mean, you know, I love her, you know, but I guess she doesn't feel the same way. So he said, what if I told you that I can teach you a formula that you can get whatever you want, including that girl back and anything else that you want? And I said, yeah, of course I'm in. What is it? You know, so that's a no-brainer, right? So he tells me, because I'm 17, I forget exactly how, I would think it was like almost 18. I was 17 years old. But he says, okay, so I'm going to explain the process to you first. I'm going to break it all down. And he explained it, my grandfather explained it with your fingernails. He says, you know that thing, there's something that grows your fingernails, and the hair on your face, the hair on your head. There's something that grows, and this is called the universal power, is what he called it. He's called the subconscious, is what he called it. You don't see, he says, your fingernails grow, don't they? And I said, yeah, they do. I cut them all the time. But do you actually witness them growing? And I said, no, I don't notice that, but they do. That's because they're grown by your subconscious. He said, there's something that controls everything in this world, okay? There's something very powerful, and it's your subconscious. This is how he brought it to me, at least. And he said, it's the same thing that grows your hair, it's the same thing that grows your fingernails, it's the same thing that grows your skin. And it's this thing, and he explained it, that there's this drift, okay? Then he kind of broke all that stuff down, and kind of the fundamentals of everything, trying to get my mind into it, you know, try to get my mind to get out of the state of mind that I was in, where it was connected to this body, where I believed everything was logical. So he got me out of that logical thinking, and then he brought me into his world, where he started explaining what consciousness is, and the subconscious, and the relationship in between those two, which he called the drift. And he explained to me, whatever you take into this drift from consciousness to the subconscious is going to happen. It's what creates your life. That's what grows your fingernails. That's what grows the hair on you. That's what grows your skin. That's what controls everything. That's what grows that tree outside. That's what grows that plant outside. Okay, that's what is control of your entire life. And I'm going to teach you a way to trick this subconscious, to trick this world, okay? Because this thing that grows your fingernails is impersonal. You know, it doesn't know if you're lying to it. It doesn't know good from bad. It doesn't know anything. All it knows is what you tell it. And what you tell it through what you take in with feeling into this drift in between conscious and your subconscious. So I was getting really interested at this point. I said, okay, absolutely. Okay, what do I got to do? And he said, there's this process, this three-step process you got to do. And he explained to me creating the feeling, or the imaginal act, what he called it, creating this imaginal act of the end of your movie. He didn't say movie, but he said, if your wish fulfilled, okay, say you want this girl back. He said, okay, imagine yourself in bed with this girl. You're lying in your bed where you would be with her, okay? And you're spooning with her, you're behind her, you got your arm around her. She spins around and kisses you and says something to you that she would normally say, or she would say to you had you, continued your relationship with her, that you're with this girl, okay? Something that she would say to you had you guys got back together, and make it a comment as if you guys did break up, but now you're back together, something like that. So I was like, okay, awesome. I'm gonna do that. And so he went further into detail about the subconscious and the drift, and how you can manipulate your world by what you take into this drift. So If so, whatever you're feeling, because throughout the day you have a collective amount of feelings, okay? So you what all those feelings are, you take into this drift, and in the subconscious restructures your world around that feeling that you wake up with, or that you go into the subconscious with from the consciousness. So he explained that you, before bed, now you can change it. Now that you know this, you can actually change it and manipulate your entire world. You can trick this thing that grows your fingernails, okay? This thing that you don't see. You can't see it, okay? But it controls everything, and you can manipulate it that way. So, okay. But long story short, after that, I think within 2 weeks, I had the girl back, okay? And the same exact thing happened to me. I was laying in bed with her. She turned around and she says, "I cannot believe I broke up with you." Okay, that was the stupidest thing I ever did. But the guy that she left me for actually ended up cheating on her like 3 or 4 days after I started the Imaginal Act, okay? So this created something in the world to happen in order to bring this girl back to me. So whatever you do, see, I don't condone doing this. I mean, so much, because I don't like to manipulate what other people's thoughts are, and you're creating a lot of different things when you do this. So be very careful of what you do, because this works, okay? But anyways, I created this guy to do this to her and break her heart or whatever. But anyways, but later I found out that this girl really wasn't meant for me. I ended up breaking up with her because she just couldn't be faithful to me. So, which is fine. But that was just her life. But what I did was I tricked the subconscious into creating this Imaginal Act where I brought this girl back to me. Okay, so, but it was something that I had ultimately created within me, because everything is within you. So something, the deceitfulness lied within me in order to create her to do that to me. So I had to figure out, I had to go backwards, and then later it went through so many different processes. And I later found out that it was something that was within me that was creating the world that I was living in. So I had to fix myself in order to create things properly in my life, and then to, but slowly I started creating things, into my life. Within 3 or 4 months, I had a really good job. I was working for like a surf company at that point when he first told me. I was making nothing. I was a surf instructor, which is awesome. It was an awesome job, but it's not great paying. It's not something I was really passionate about, and helping tons of people that doing something like that. But later I got pushed into a production company within a few months. I was going to the truck dealership, just got a brand new truck, and then I bought the house, and then within 6 months to a year, everything, my life had completely changed. And, but he had come back after a year, and I remember that because I think I got a ride to my mom's house at that point. When he first showed up, it was a year prior to that. I had gotten a ride over to my mom's house. I didn't even have my own car or anything at that point, but he came back in a year later, and I come over to my mom's house, and I pull up in a $60,000 truck, and he's like, "Okay, all right, you're doing it, you're actually applying this." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." I gave him, a big hug. I talked to him on the phone and stuff and explained some stuff, but he was always so busy. It was hard to get a hold of him. But yeah, he was very proud of me. But this whole thing was based on this formula. My grandfather had his own twist on it and everything. And he also told me that he actually went into some positive thought teaching, but he said that he stopped because someone had made a comment to him after a lecture that he had made, where they said, I forget exactly what it was, but they had made a comment for something that he needed to do with himself or something. He didn't quite understand that. So he said that he quit at that point. I don't remember exactly why. But he was doing so well that it really didn't matter. But I wanted to bring this to your attention of this testimonial, these experiences that I had. And I really wanted to show you guys this. And if you like this video, you want more videos like this, let me know, and I will post some more. All right, guys, love you.